my name is Diana Loderhose. I am the International Features Editor here at Deadline. I'm in our Red Sea studios with Hala El-Kousi, who is the director of the film East of Noon. Thank you for coming. How's it going so far
It's
at Red
going
Sea?
very well. I've had very warm public reception. Many young people in the audience. I find this very inspiring and gratifying at the same time to kind of have conversations with young people who are in love with film and wanting to make film. I think that's what's special about this encounter, basically.
This is a film about sort of young people rebelling against authority,
Yes.
which as a topic I always love to watch. And maybe tell us a little bit about how this idea came to you, what inspired you to kind of tell this story.
I think the last 15 years in the whole of the Arab world, we were kind of propelled into posing ourselves these questions as to what makes good governance, what makes change, what is freedom, and so by living these experiences and self-reflecting, I kind of almost touched it in a personal way that youth is the propeller for change, but also this energy that youth brings is always kind of discouraged and downplayed and criticized, and it almost feels like by making not just film but the film before, I always want to kind of put them back in their rightful place, which is in the Arabic we say that the future is for the youth. And without this kind of unchained energy, the world would not move forward. And I guess this is why I always have a young character in my films.
What did you learn? You mentioned your first film, Cactus Flower.
Yeah.
What did you learn? Kind of, what takeaways from your debut feature did you kind of learn and carry into this for your second directorial effort?
The things that I wanted to carry forward, which I did, but I kind of did them more extensively this time around, is that work with actors, like prior to shooting, is always is the most important thing. Not just the work with the actor director or sort of to build this relationship, but also to build the relationship between the actors themselves. By existing together for during rehearsals and kind of exercises and meals and social situations, they develop this familiarity that is unmissable on the screen. If they have this kind of relationship on screen, then it always helps to kind of have this relationship, but also they learn to trust each other. Since I'm dealing with young actors, maybe this is specific to the fact that my two protagonists have never been on screen before. They trust each other, but they also trust me. And this kind of building of trust is very important. I also carried forward this desire to continue to bring to the screen the kind of cinema that I believe in, which is not necessarily straightforward, because I believe that the viewer has an immense ability to kind of appreciate different ways of storytelling, and the interest lies in this challenge of bringing forward something that is slightly different, at least. Yeah.
You mentioned your two protagonists, of course, not having been on camera before. Tell me a little bit about how you found them and the kind of casting process, and what kind of how the kind of team kind of worked together to kind of help build these.
Yeah. Of course, I had a casting call, but since I was looking for very young people, it was not necessary. I was not necessarily looking for somebody who had proved themselves somewhere else. When I first met the male protagonist, he was 17. and I kind of, what drew my attention to him is that I found online, just by chance, a film that he wrote, acted in, and directed himself at age 16. And I thought, well, it's almost like in real life, he has some of the characters that I'm looking for in this very young, rebellious adventures character, yeah? And with the female protagonist, with Faiza, she's primarily a dancer. So I found her through attending dance rehearsal workshops. Because I was looking for two characters who were musical, who were able to kind of, work with music and dance. How I worked with them, we kind of had a routine. We were my studio where I work became kind of a second home to them, and we had the room of the protagonist in the set was kind of completely set up in the rehearsal room. So they were so he could become familiar with the musical instruments that he had to play. The composer was giving him music lessons, but we were very lucky. I mean, he studied ballet school. He did ballet school, and for that he also had to do music. So he was very easy to kind of teach. But still, he had rehearsal times and in the studio, so that when the shooting time came, it looked natural. He was actually playing on set. And the same with the dancing. They were on a routine when we had rehearsals for the scenes, rehearsals for the dance, and rehearsals for the music. Yeah.
So I know you've obviously been at Cannes with this film, and you're here now at Red Sea. I wondered, have you started thinking about what's next?
I already have a new script.
Fantastic.
But I had already thought of, it was already in the works since the beginning of the year. But after Cannes, I had a chance to sit down and write, and now I have a working script, and I'm approaching producers to see how we can go about it.
Can you tell us what it's about?
Okay, it's about this a woman a very old woman on her deathbed, and she's surrounded by close relatives and people who kind of have these mixed feelings between wanting her to die so that their life can go on, but also the emotions they wouldn't be able to survive without her. And it's through this because it all happens in this one place. Through their interactions, they kind of ally, and their differences appear on the surface.
Well, good luck with that, and good luck with the rest of the journey of your film here.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.